What destroys your vibration faster than anything else? Zen and Buddhist. The unseen forces that pull you down. There are things in this world that do not attack with weapons or force. Yet they silently drain your energy, lower your vibration, and darken your spirit. They disguise themselves as pleasure, comfort, or even love, but over time, they leave you feeling anxious, exhausted, and lost. The wise ones of old understood this well. The Buddha once said, "What you attach yourself to determines whether you rise or fall." In our modern world, these unseen poisons are everywhere, subtle yet powerful. But by recognizing them, we can break free. This journey is not about avoiding life but about making conscious choices that elevate our energy. Let's begin by exploring the 7 hidden forces that drain us and how to rise above them. 1. Negative speech. The weight of words. Words are not just sounds or symbols, they are carriers of energy, capable of shaping reality. The way we speak, the conversations we engage in, and the words we hear influence our inner world more deeply than we often realize. Like ripples in a pond, they extend beyond the moment, leaving lasting impressions on the mind and soul. In our story, the traveler encountered a group of men indulging in laughter at the expense of others. At first, it seemed like harmless banter, just another conversation among strangers. But soon, a subtle shift occurred within him. The energy of their words lingered in the air, seeping into his consciousness. He found his mind clouded with judgment and negativity, his thoughts no longer as clear as they had been. His heart, once light and unburdened, grew heavy with restlessness. It was as if the negative speech had cast a shadow over his journey, disconnecting him from his sense of purpose. This experience is not unique to the traveler. In our daily lives, we often underestimate the impact of the words we speak and hear. Gossip, complaints, and harsh judgments may seem trivial, yet they leave invisible marks on our consciousness. They stir emotions, create divisions, and erode inner peace. When we participate in or absorb such negativity, we unknowingly allow it to take root within us, affecting our thoughts, actions, and even our overall well-being. How to apply this lesson? Be mindful of what you say. Every word has the potential to build or destroy, to uplift or harm. Before speaking, ask yourself, do these words serve a purpose? Do they bring light or darkness? Choose words that heal, encourage, and elevate rather than those that criticize or wound. Even when offering constructive feedback, frame your speech with compassion and wisdom. Limit exposure to gossip and negativity. Just as we are mindful of the food we consume, we must also be cautious about the conversations we entertain. The words we listen to shape our thoughts and emotions, subtly influencing our state of mind. If you surround yourself with negativity, you risk internalizing it. Instead, seek conversations that inspire wisdom, kindness, and understanding. Choose silence over harmful speech. Silence is not emptiness, it is a space of awareness and presence. If your words do not add value, consider whether silence may be a more powerful response. Resisting the urge to engage in negative talk is an act of discipline, a choice that protects both yourself and others from unnecessary suffering. A pause before speaking can prevent regret and cultivate a habit of mindful communication. By practicing conscious speech and filtering the words we allow into our minds, we reclaim the power of language. We transform our interactions into sources of harmony rather than discord, guiding ourselves and those around us toward a more peaceful existence. The weight of words is undeniable, but so is their potential to elevate the soul. 2. Toxic food and drink. What you consume becomes you. As the traveler continued his journey, he stumbled upon a grand feast, filled with rich, intoxicating foods. Seduced by the aromas and flavors, he indulged without restraint, relishing each bite. But the next morning, the consequences of his indulgence became clear. His body felt sluggish. His mind was clouded, and his energy seemed drained. The food that had brought momentary pleasure had, in turn, stolen his clarity. What we consume does not merely nourish or fill us, it becomes a part of us. Every bite, every sip carries an energy that influences not only our physical health but also our mental and spiritual state. Highly processed foods, excessive sugars, and intoxicants like alcohol may offer short-term gratification, but they disrupt the body's natural balance, dulling our awareness and lowering our vibrational state. When the body is weighed down, the mind struggles to remain sharp, and the spirit feels disconnected. This principle extends beyond just food and drink. Anything we take in, whether through our senses, thoughts, or experiences, shapes who we are. A diet filled with artificial substances, stimulants, or mind-numbing indulgences can create restlessness and lethargy, making it difficult to cultivate mindfulness, inner peace, and true vitality. How to apply this lesson? Notice how food affects you. Pay close attention to how different foods influence your energy levels, mood, and mental clarity. Do you feel light and energized after a meal? Or do you experience heaviness and sluggishness? By observing these patterns, you can make conscious choices that support your overall well-being. Limit intoxicants. Alcohol, excessive caffeine, and chemically processed foods can cloud the mind and disrupt inner balance. Clarity, focus, and spiritual awareness come from a body that is nourished, not overstimulated or numbed. Reducing or eliminating intoxicants allows for a deeper connection with yourself and the present moment. Eat mindfully. Approach food with gratitude and awareness. Instead of eating out of habit or craving, choose foods that truly nourish and sustain you. Whole, natural foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, carry a life-giving essence that aligns with the body's needs. Eating in moderation and with intention fosters a harmonious relationship between body and mind. By treating food as a source of energy rather than mere indulgence, we align ourselves with vitality, clarity, and a deeper sense of connection to our inner journey. What we consume, we become, so let us choose wisely. 3. Holding on to anger. The poison you drink yourself. Anger is like holding a burning coal in your hand, intending to throw it at someone else, but in the end, you are the one who gets burned. The traveler, weary from his long journey, stopped at a marketplace to buy provisions. A merchant, sensing his desperation, deceived him, overcharging him for goods of poor quality. When the traveler realized he had been cheated, anger surged through him. His heart pounded, his thoughts raced with bitterness, and he imagined confronting the merchant to reclaim what was rightfully his. But as he stood there, gripping his resentment tightly, he suddenly understood. His anger did nothing to the merchant. It did not change what had already happened, nor did it bring him peace. The only person suffering was himself. With a deep breath, he chose to let go. The moment he did, his mind became clear, and his steps felt lighter. The energy that had been wasted on resentment was now free for his journey ahead. Anger, when left unchecked, is a heavy burden. It clouds our thoughts, consumes our emotions, and keeps us trapped in the past. We often believe that holding on to anger gives us power, that it somehow serves as justice or protection. But in truth, it only weighs us down, preventing us from experiencing peace. Like a knot that tightens the more we pull, anger restricts our ability to move forward. How to apply this lesson? Recognize when anger arises. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause and observe your anger. Ask yourself, what is this emotion teaching me? Is it pointing to an unmet expectation, a personal wound, or a sense of injustice? By understanding its root, you can respond with awareness rather than being controlled by it. Let go of resentment. Holding on to anger keeps you bound to the past. Each time you revisit an old grievance, you relive the pain, reinforcing the very suffering you wish to escape. Letting go does not mean approving of wrongdoing. It simply means freeing yourself from its grip. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing others. It is about choosing peace over suffering. When you forgive, you release yourself from the burden of anger. This does not mean forgetting or allowing harm to continue, but rather, deciding that the past will no longer dictate your present state of mind. Anger is a natural emotion, but we must not let it take root in our hearts. The sooner we release it, the sooner we reclaim our inner peace. 4. Attachment to the past. A chain that holds you back. The traveler came across an old man sitting among the ruins of a once great city. His eyes, filled with sorrow, gazed upon the broken stones as if searching for something that no longer existed. "I once had everything here, family, prosperity, joy," the old man murmured, his voice heavy with grief. But now, he remained frozen in time, unable to move beyond what he had lost. The traveler watched in silence, realizing that the old man was not just mourning the past, he was imprisoned by it. His life had become a shrine to memories, a place where he constantly revisited regrets and longings. And yet, the present moment continued to pass him by, unnoticed and unlived. Many of us carry similar burdens. We cling to memories, replay past mistakes, and dwell on missed opportunities, believing that by doing so, we preserve what was once meaningful. But the past, no matter how precious or painful, is a closed chapter. Clinging to it does not bring it back. It only prevents us from embracing the life unfolding before us. Like a heavy chain, attachment to what is gone weighs us down, keeping us from stepping forward. The truth is, life is always in motion. The river does not stop flowing to mourn a fallen leaf, nor does the tree refuse to bloom again after shedding its flowers. When we hold too tightly to the past, we close ourselves off to the endless possibilities that the present and future offer. How to apply this lesson? Ask yourself, am I living in the past or the present? Reflect on whether your thoughts are rooted in what has been or what is happening now. Awareness is the first step toward letting go. Let go of what no longer serves you. Memories can be cherished, but they should not control your present reality. Release regrets, old wounds, and attachments that prevent you from embracing new experiences. The future is unwritten, waiting for you to step forward. Create new experiences. Life is meant to be lived forward. Instead of dwelling on what was, focus on what can be. Seek new opportunities, build meaningful connections, and embrace the beauty of the present moment. The past may shape us, but it does not define us. Only by releasing its hold can we walk freely toward the life that awaits us. 5. Surrounding yourself with low-energy people. Just as the food we consume nourishes or harms our bodies, the company we keep shapes our minds and spirits. The traveler, seeking rest and companionship, found himself among a group of people who were lost in negativity. Their conversations revolved around complaints, regrets, and blame. They spoke only of their misfortunes, dwelling on past hardships and seeing nothing good in life. At first, the traveler felt compassion. He tried to uplift them, offering words of encouragement and wisdom. He spoke of new beginnings, of gratitude, and the power of perspective. But his words met resistance. Every positive thought was countered with skepticism. Every hopeful message dismissed as unrealistic. Instead of inspiring change, he found himself drained. Their negativity clung to him like a heavy mist, clouding his clarity and weighing on his soul. As time passed, he realized an important truth. While we can offer support, we cannot force others to change. Some people are committed to their suffering, unwilling to release their pain because it has become their identity. No amount of wisdom or kindness can free someone who does not wish to be free. Recognizing this, the traveler chose to leave. He understood that protecting his own peace was not selfish but necessary. The people we surround ourselves with influence our thoughts, energy, and emotions. Just as a flower cannot thrive in barren soil, we cannot grow in an environment that constantly drains us. Being mindful of our company is not about judgment or rejection. It is about choosing to cultivate a space where we can flourish. How to apply this lesson? Evaluate your relationships. Ask yourself, do the people around you uplift and inspire you? Or do they drain your energy? Are your conversations filled with growth and wisdom? Or do they revolve around complaints and blame? The quality of your relationships directly affects your well-being. Set boundaries. You do not have to completely cut people out of your life. But be mindful of how much time and energy you give to those who dwell in negativity. Protect your peace by limiting exposure to toxic interactions. Boundaries are not barriers, they are acts of self-care. Seek high-energy people. Surround yourself with those who encourage, motivate, and challenge you to become your best self. Be in the presence of those who radiate wisdom, gratitude, and joy. Just as a flame ignites another, positive energy is contagious and uplifting. In the end, we become reflections of the energy we allow into our lives. Choose wisely, and your spirit will remain light and free. 6. Living without purpose. A person without purpose is like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly, at the mercy of the tides, never reaching any meaningful destination. The traveler, weary from his journey, met a man who wandered without direction. He had no goal, no ambition, and no reason to move forward beyond mere existence. When asked where he was going, the man simply shrugged, saying, "Wherever the road takes me." At first, the traveler admired the man's carefree nature. But as they walked together, he noticed something. The man lacked enthusiasm. His steps were heavy, and his days felt repetitive, as if he were simply passing time rather than truly living. Without a sense of purpose, he found no joy in his journey, no fulfillment in his experiences. Life, to him, was neither exciting nor meaningful. It was just something to endure. Observing this, the traveler realized an important truth. Purpose does not have to be grand or extraordinary. It is not reserved for those with great ambitions or lofty dreams. Even the smallest purpose, finding joy in the present moment, serving others, learning, or growing, can bring meaning to life. A sense of direction, however subtle, gives life depth and fulfillment. Without it, days blur into one another, and existence becomes an endless loop of monotony. How to apply this lesson? Reflect on what excites you. Ask yourself, what makes you feel truly alive? What brings you joy, curiosity, or fulfillment? Purpose is often hidden in the things that ignite a spark within us. Pay attention to those moments. Set small goals. Purpose does not come all at once. It unfolds through action. Start with small, meaningful steps. Learning something new, helping someone in need, or dedicating time to a passion. Even small efforts create momentum. Live with intention. Approach each day with awareness. Even the simplest actions, when done with purpose, whether it's being kind, practicing mindfulness, or working towards self-improvement, can transform a mundane existence into a meaningful one. Life without purpose is merely survival, but a life with purpose, no matter how simple, is a life well lived. 7. Fear. The final gatekeeper. Fear is the last and greatest obstacle before transformation. It stands as the final test before we break through to something greater. The traveler, after a long and arduous journey, finally neared the mountaintop, but just as the summit was within reach, a violent storm arose. The wind howled, the sky darkened, and the path ahead seemed treacherous. Doubt crept into his heart. Was this a sign to turn back? Would it be wiser to retreat to safety? For a moment, fear held him in place. The thought of failure, of pain, of the unknown weighed heavily on him. But then, he realized something. The fear itself was the last barrier. It was not the storm, nor the steep climb, nor the exhaustion that threatened his progress. It was his own hesitation. Fear only has power when we surrender to it. With renewed determination, the traveler took a step forward. The wind still howled, the path remained uncertain, but with each step, his fear lessened. And then, as he moved through the storm, something remarkable happened. The fear dissolved. The storm had not disappeared, but its power over him had vanished. He had crossed the threshold, proving that fear is not an enemy but a test. The greatest breakthroughs in life often come right after our biggest fears. Fear is not meant to stop us, it is meant to challenge us. It is the guardian at the gates of growth, asking one final question. Are you ready to step into something greater? Only those who push through will experience their highest potential. How to apply this lesson? Acknowledge your fears. Fear is not weakness. It is a natural response to stepping into the unknown. Instead of avoiding it, ask yourself, what is stopping me from moving forward? What am I truly afraid of? Often, fear is just an illusion, magnified by our minds. Take action despite fear. Courage is not the absence of fear but the willingness to move forward anyway. Every great achievement, every moment of transformation, comes from acting in the face of fear. The first step is always the hardest, but once taken, fear begins to fade. Reframe fear as a challenge. Instead of seeing fear as a stop sign, see it as a doorway. Every fear you overcome expands your potential and opens new possibilities. Growth is always on the other side of fear. Fear will always appear before a great transformation. But if you step forward, you will discover that beyond fear lies freedom. The path to a higher vibration. The traveler's journey reveals that raising our vibration is not about escaping challenges but about making conscious choices. Each day, we decide whether to embrace light or darkness, to dwell in fear or step into growth, to cling to the past or move forward with purpose. True elevation comes not from external change but from inner transformation. Practical steps to elevate your energy. 1. Speak with kindness. Words shape your energy and the energy around you. Speak with intention, uplifting yourself and others. 2. Nourish your body. Choose foods that bring clarity and vitality, as a well-fed body supports a clear mind. 3. Release anger. Letting go of resentment frees you from unnecessary burdens. Holding on to anger only poisons your own soul. 4. Live in the present. The past no longer exists, and the future is yet to come. True peace is found in the present moment. 5. Surround yourself with uplifting people. Your environment affects your energy. Seek those who inspire, support, and encourage your growth. 6. Have a purpose. Even small goals create direction and meaning. A life without purpose drifts, but a purposeful life thrives. 7. Face your fears. Fear is not an obstacle, it is a gateway. When you push past it, you uncover new strength and possibilities. By releasing what lowers you, you naturally rise into clarity, peace, and fulfillment. The traveler found wisdom not from a teacher, but from the journey itself. And so will you. Are you ready to take the first step?